Hello, and thank you for watching my final project for the Early Career Teacher Seminar. My name is Joe Ramstead, and today I'm going to discuss a couple of opportunities for personal growth, development, and reflection within the education profession. So our roadmap for today, we're going to get started by looking at a context and overview of the profession of agricultural education and why my two needs are relevant and important for my life. The two needs I'm going to identify as part of my project are community partners and relations, work-life balance, and then at the end of the day, we'll wrap up. So to get started, some context and overview. One quote that really stood out to me from the book that we read in class is, when you're clear on your values, you align your skills, time, and energy to your purpose. And purposefulness is a key trait of the resilient. That was found on page 23 of the book. And I think at the end of the day, what helped me to identify the two needs that I have in my life are my values. And I really value my health. I value the people that I work with every day in my classroom and in the community, and I value my friends and family. And I think that a lot of these values are present within the plan that I have outlined here today. And I'm really excited to share that because I think that this could create lasting change in my life and as a result, increase the performance and impact I have in the classroom. So as I mentioned, my current values are my family, friends, and the colleagues I get to work with every day, and my career. Also not listed on there, I also value just being outside and being outdoors and cooking and spending time away from the classroom and connecting with what I enjoy to do. But as I look at my job within agricultural education, I realize that there are a couple of key needs that I have, and those are community partners and relations within our program, and also work-life balance. And I think that both of these can go hand in hand, and we'll share a little bit about that later in the presentation. Now, I want to highlight a little bit about what makes the career of agricultural education so unique and different, and that is what is known as the three-circle model of agricultural education. So what makes agricultural education so special is that we as agriculture teachers focus on not only teaching our classes in the classroom laboratory component, which most of the time includes 5, 6, maybe even 7 different classes each semester that we're teaching. I know for me right now, I teach 6 classes and all of them are completely different. I don't teach the same class once throughout the year. So it makes it challenging, especially with a hands-on class like an agriculture class where you might be extracting DNA from a strawberry in one class and in another class working out in the greenhouse, making sure all of that equipment is set up, in another class doing some wells out in the shop. So yes, there are no standards really that we have to cover in the classes in terms of Minnesota graduation, but there's a lot of intensity in terms of preparing. So that makes that classroom component very rigorous for a teacher. Additionally, we have this component called Supervised Agricultural Experience, or SAE. And one thing that we work towards as agriculture teachers is providing hands-on experiences for students. And SAE is something that I'm very passionate about because it gets students out of the classroom and applying what they're learning in the classroom to a work experience or to a self-improvement project, kind of like what we're doing here in this class. But it could be something from service learning to placement where you work for somebody or starting your own business. The opportunities are limitless. And so I get really excited about SAE. And I'm going to be sharing a little bit more about SAE later in the presentation and the form of community partners and getting students engaged in that realm. And lastly, of course, we have leadership development and FFA. And this is basically an organization that students can get involved with when they're in an agricultural education class that builds on students' ability to become strong leaders, grow personally and emotionally and physically and spiritually, socially, and also grow in their career success potential through participation of different events. So as an ag teacher, I have the opportunity to juggle all 3 of these circles and try to balance them to the best of my ability, which can be a lot of responsibility. As we all know as teachers, it can be a lot, especially when we're teaching during a pandemic. I totally understand it. So I'm trying to be proactive through this little assignment project and creating a plan that will help me not only get partners into my classroom to help me build my knowledge and hopefully retain me in the profession, but also a plan to increase my work-life balance capacity. So I'm excited to dive into that in the next couple of videos.